Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I'm just drinking on some lemonade. Tonight, I hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I know the 4th. It's coming up, so I know a lot of you guys gonna be out barbecuing, shooting fireworks, being out and about, just enjoying the day. But I just want to uh, wish you guys a safe and happy Fourth. Uh, you know, it's been a lot going on. Uh, to be honest with you, this journey of mine has been going by so quick. I've been doing this podcast now for 4 years. 4 years. Um, a few days ago, I released my first episode of the podcast 4 years ago. And it's been a journey ever since, man. So I just want to thank everybody who's been supporting, um, encouraging, uh, the guests who has been coming on, and I'm gonna continue to reach out to a potential guest, man, to come on and just have a great time. And you know, I share my platform with everybody. That's why I created this platform. Uh, 4 years ago. For those who don't know how this platform came about, I'll give you a quick little history. It was around 20, I want to say around 2018, 2019, I want to say. And it was a job I had previously. And I was working there, and a friend of mine named Marcus, who worked at uh, his job was just right outside my job. We worked in the mall, but two different companies. And I was working. We was just talking. I was like, man, you know what? Kind of have this idea, and the idea really came about when I was over his house. We was watching the fight. Fight was over pretty early, uh, because of knockout. I was a bunch of friends over there, and after that, we would just start talking and drinking and laughing, having a good time. And the idea popped up in my head, like, "Hey, I think this would be pretty cool for a podcast, right?" And this is at the time where podcast was just, really pretty much just getting started. And when I went to work and I seen him, I told him about this idea I had. I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna start a podcast called Drinking After Dark. And started he was like, yeah, man, that's a dope name for a podcast. And a couple years went by. Obviously, 2020 we had the COVID year and everything. And with the phone I had, I had an Android, so couldn't do much. It was an older Android. Battery would run down pretty quick, things like that. 2021 comes around, end up getting a new phone, uh, iPhone, obviously, switched over from Android to iPhone. Uh, and I was just curious one day. I had the phone for a while, just, getting used to the iPhone and everything because I was so used to the Android. I was so curious. I was like, let me see if they have like any podcast apps out there. And I searched in the App Store and I saw this app called Anchor. All right. And Anchor was a podcast app, a free podcast app for you to record, upload a podcast just like that. It will send it to different platforms, RSS feed, different platforms, which the Anchor was owned by Spotify. And since then, they changed the name to Spotify for podcasters. So um, I pretty much signed up, put my name on there, and Uh, my first few episodes, I'm just trying to figure it out, stuff like that. So I just did everything strictly audio. And then at the top of the very next year, 2022, boom, since I had Zoom, I was like, man, you know what? Let me go ahead and start recording my podcast through Zoom, which I could do the video plus the audio, upload it through the app, and of course they'll take care of the rest, and then bring you the video to YouTube. And it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey. It's been fun too. It's been fun. This is I could say this is a platform with you can use for whatever reason, right? Whether you want to promote yourself, either you just want to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, uh, laugh, joke, something that we really don't get much into. Obviously, religion. Uh, don't get too much deep into politics, stuff like that, because we're in an age where people are a little bit sensitive. People are a little bit more sensitive than ever. So, kind of stay away from those topics. I will talk about, I have had elected officials on the platform before, so I just want to thank them for coming on. Um, but sometimes you talk about certain things, and it's okay. Like I said, my platform is open to anybody and everybody. That's why I really created this platform. Not for me. I created this platform for uh, you guys. So it wasn't really about me. It was just something that it was an idea I put out, helped me connect with people, and because of this platform, I have met um, a lot of amazing people, right? And it's been cool, man, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. Um, I'm just, forever, grateful to create something that's on your own, and then you could put it out there and share it with everybody. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Obviously, you can catch the podcast on YouTube, also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, um, whatever you listen to podcasts, you could definitely check it out. Tell your friends and family about it. Again, 4 years in, can't believe it. It went by pretty fast. The time went by pretty fast. So 4 years in, can't wait to see what the future holds for the platform. And like I said, everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome on the platform. So this is me sharing my platform to um to you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Uh Again, I know we got the fourth that's about to happen. I know a lot of you guys gonna experience some great fireworks shows that's happening around your town, your city. I know a lot of people are traveling, so safe travels to all of you. I know again, barbecue, you probably got reunions. I got a bunch of my family coming in this week from both sides of my family, my mom's side, my dad's side. So it's gonna be I could say it's gonna be a busy week for me. But yeah, I mean, listen, I got other ideas, man. I'm gonna do with the channel and stuff like that. And just stay tuned for that, man. Stay tuned. Just my platform is really all about having fun and just opening it up for everybody else. That's what the platform is about. All right. There's one other thing I want to talk about too. Um, I might talk about two other things. One other thing. I know the NBA draft just took place, and obviously there's been some talks about certain players and you know how this draft went. Obviously, we knew Cooper Flag was going number one in Dallas. which he's in a great spot because he's already going to a team that's well established. A lot of veterans, a team that we know if Kyrie didn't get hurt, um, AD is fully healthy with the team they already have. That's a that's a top tier playoff team, and you get the number one overall pick, which I ain't gonna lie, it's more of a conspiracy in my opinion. I mean, come on, you traded Luca, and then the NBA just gave you the number one pick. Like, come on. But that's a whole nother story. But the biggest story out of the draft was Ace Bailey going number five to Utah, the Utah Jazz, and doesn't seem too happy. He was trying to pick wherever he wanted to go, mainly like Washington. He's just a guy that wants to put up shots and whatever. Okay, this is what I gotta say about this. One, this ain't nothing new. A lot of players who come into whatever draft, regardless of the sport, don't want to go to certain teams. But it just happens, right? Even with that, I would say this. There's people out there that would take your switch places with you in a heartbeat, right? A chance to play in the NBA, right? You're one of the very few lucky um, people to get a chance to play in a league that obviously millions of people around the world wants to play in. And obviously there's some stuff coming from his camp about, charging the charging for workouts and all of that stuff, interviews, and which is just stupid. I mean, like you trying to make it to the league, right? Now his talent, NBA talent, right? Even though he went to a school called no, he went to Rutgers, him and Dylan Harper, who was drafted number two. I mean, which is kind of funny to me. You got two top five picks on the college team and you had a losing record in college. Someone right about that. Anyway, uh, but it's been this talk about how he went about it. And for me, my take is this. When you're a rookie, well, you're not a rookie yet because you haven't been drafted. Um, you already starting off on the wrong foot because, one, I get it. Utah's not a destination people want to go to, but for most people, they don't care if it's Utah, they don't care if it's Toronto, which that other player who got drafted, I guess he wasn't happy about going to Toronto. Forget his name, he's out of South Carolina. Um, but everyone else who has a dream of playing in the NBA, they don't care. They just want to play in the NBA. And for you to have the reaction on your face, like going to Utah, you didn't work out for them. Guess what? Teams don't care. They're like, oh, you don't want to work out for us? We still going to pick you if you're available. That's what happened. Danny Ainge still picked Ace Bailey. People are asking, why would you pick a guy who don't want to be there? So what? You own the guy's rights for like 4 years, and then all of a sudden, he did show up. He didn't get on the first plane out there, but he ended up showing up. Dude, you're you're gonna get around $9-10 million a year. Your rookie contract. Like, come on. That is who who wouldn't show up for that? All right. You do what you're supposed to do in Utah, and then if you're a free agent, you can go someplace else. I never understood that. Just get in the door, do what you're supposed to do, and then once you become a free agent, now you can look to where you want to go to. All right. I never understood that. It's a blessing to get drafted, right? I don't care if it's the NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, to play. at the highest level in that sport, it's a blessing already because not everybody gets that opportunity to play. And the way you go about it, it just way off. Just way off. Hopefully he can fix this young kid. He will fix it. You going first off, you're going to Utah, so I don't know what the complaint is. You're going to get shots up out there, right? You know the organization is a really good organization, well-run organization. I mean, you couldn't ask for that. Like, I would understand if you were going to like if you were going, say, like Dallas, right? You're going to Dallas. Obviously, you know you're not getting that many shots up because we know Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, they're gonna get the majority of the shots. And then you get yours however you're gonna get yours. Um, but you're going to Utah. Man, you could show out. Look, Donovan Mitchell was in Utah. Now look where he's at right now, right? Obviously, they done had some great players come through Utah. Karl Malone, John Stockton, Hall of Fame players. You saw what they did for that franchise. You know, we heard about Isaiah Thomas, the Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas, who didn't want to go to Detroit, but they picked him anyway. They're like, yeah, if you're there, we're going to pick you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Guess what happened? He won two NBA titles in Detroit. Love the franchise, love the city. So, sometimes it could be a good thing for you. You just don't know. And if you're that dude that everybody say that you are, okay, you go to Utah, you build your game up there, which is great because now you could really do it without the spotlight and without the pressure. If you doing what you're supposed to do, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have to start building this team around Ace Bailey," why would you want to leave a situation like that, right? I get it. That first contract you get, but you really playing for that second contract. Understand, right? But you just gotta get in. Get your get in there, do what you gotta do, right? And then if the opportunity comes, free agency come around, guess what? Now you can pick wherever you want to go. So it was just a bad look all around. I know a lot of people are saying this too, how basketball has became a rich kid sport. Back then it wasn't like that. But now you got a lot of these players who come into the league, not as hungry as somebody say like I forgot who Philly drafted VJ and what's his name? I forgot his name, but when you hear his story, how him and his mother lived off a generator for 7 years, that's hunger. You saw the center from Duke got drafted. Saw the picture, tears crying. I mean, just coming down his face. You know, yeah, grateful to be put in this position and everything like that. So you see some kids out there who are so grateful to be put in this position. Then you have other kids where they just feel like I'm gonna be here anyway. So you kind of get that feeling, but hey, it is what it is, right? You draft the best of the best, um, and then you go for that. And here's the thing about it: a lot of time, and we in the one thing I love about drafts that a lot of times is now depending on when you get picked, that's money, right? That's money. But we have seen guys who go second round, late second round, become multiple time champions, multiple time all stars, MVPs. Um, so again, now we at a place where really where you get drafted is a money thing, but does that necessarily equate for you to be like the franchise player? Whoever thought Jokic was going to be a franchise player getting picked later in the second round, a three-time MVP? Who would have thought that, right? going to be a Hall of Fame Finals MVP. Who would have thought that? Nobody. Who would have thought Draymond Green, selected in the second round, will be Defensive Player of the Year, multiple time All Star, 4-time champion? Who would have thought that? No. Manu Ginobili, another guy, drafted in the second round. Nobody knew who he was. Hall of Fame. So a lot of times, man, just getting the opportunity, man, to show that, hey, I'm worthy to be in the NBA. And now you at a point where it doesn't matter when you get picked, as long as you go out and ball out. Again, a lot you pretty much playing for a second contract. Playing for a second contract. And some players are lucky to be part of um organizations, teams more so than others. I get it. So that's it. All right. But congratulations to all those who were selected. Um, you deserve it. Those who went undrafted, but you did sign with the team. Hey, at least you got signed. At least you could show like, hey, you made a big mistake not drafting me. So you still get an opportunity. All right. That's all. That's all I got to say about that particular thing. Um, I was gonna talk about this, but I'm not gonna talk about it. I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try to bring a guest on to talk about this particular topic, but I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is just yet. But something that we kind of I really want to touch on because it's times are changing. Times are changing, and I definitely want to get some guests to come on and talk about this, but we'll wait on that. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in with me tonight. Once again, please follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You can catch the episodes on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks again for all the continued support, words of encouragement. 4 years, it went by pretty fast. Man, 4 years, and look, I can't wait to see what's happening next. Just I'm gonna keep pushing. You never know where this journey is gonna lead me, so let's uh let's continue to grow. All right. Till next time, I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast. We out. Peace.